Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and today I'm finally back with another video about football here. I'm going to do the NFL picks and review, but I'm going to do it for multiple weeks. So we have the review of week 6 through 10 and the picks of week 7 through 11. So I'm just going to get right into these. I'm going to go pretty fast. I'm not going to tell you any stats. I'm just going to give you the takeaways from each week and then what you can expect for the upcoming week. So week 6, yeah, I went 10-4 here, so it's pretty good. My season at this point was 64-30. Some takeaways from this one: the Ravens blew out the Chargers. The Chiefs got it done versus Washington later in the game. Yeah, I kind of forget this week, but this is where the Jaguars got their first win of the season. And so, yeah, those are some of the main highlights from that week. The Titans also beat the Bills in that one. So I'm just going to get right into the preview. I'm just going to show you the preview. I'm not going to talk about it. So there's a look at the preview for week 7. And now here it's the review for week 7. The Browns got done in a low-scoring game. The Titans blew out the Chiefs, who are struggling at this point. The Patriots put up 54 points versus the Jets. They have had some good times this year. Hasn't been completely solid, but looks like they are on the way up. The Giants blew out the Panthers. The Cincinnati Bengals blew out the Ravens. So yeah, some interesting scores from this week. I went 9-4 in week 7, and on the season I was 73-34 at this point. And then the week 8 preview, I'm just going to give you a few seconds to look at this if you want to look at my picks for week 8, even though this was a few weeks ago. So there's a look at that. And then we'll move on to the review, which I have right here. So yeah, the Packers were able to beat the Cardinals in a big NFC game there. Some other takeaways: we had the Titans beat the Colts in overtime. So yeah, not too many upsets this week. The Chiefs barely got done versus the Giants, so they were still struggling at this point. My record here was 8-7. Oh yeah, we did have the Saints beat the Bucks. But I don't know when it was, because this was prior, obviously. But at some point, the Saints lost their starting quarterback, Jameis Winston, and that was a major blow for that team. So I went 8-7 this week. My record is 81-41 at this point. So yeah, and then let's move on to week 9. So on the left-hand side, you can see my picks, and then on the right-hand side, you can see the review. So yeah, with the Colts handle the Jets there. The Jaguars upset the Bills in a low-scoring game, 9-6. So the Jaguars hasn't been the best season for them, but they have gotten 2 wins. The Browns unexpectedly blew out the Bengals 41-16. The Browns have been up and down. Sometimes they can score, sometimes they cannot. The Ravens got it done in overtime versus the Vikings. A low-scoring game for the Chiefs versus the Packers, who were without Aaron Rodgers. But the Chiefs do get it done there. So my record for this week was 8-6, and my total is 89-47 at this point. And then week 10, same kind of deal with the split. So you can have a look at my preview and then my review on the other side, where the Dolphins upset the Ravens. So the Ravens, some struggles maybe. I don't know if it's with Lamar. I think they got to Lamar a lot, so yeah, a big upset there. The Colts held off the Jaguars. The Cowboys had a huge win over the Falcons. The Patriots blew out Cleveland 45-7. So, like I said, sometimes Baker Mayfield cannot get it going. Sometimes he can play great, but he's not a consistent quarterback. It doesn't mean he shouldn't be a starting quarterback in this league. I just don't think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And Washington upset the Buccaneers. The Panthers blew out the Cardinals in an upset. So a lot of upsets this week. But the Chiefs finally did well. They won 41-14. So maybe the Chiefs are starting to warm up a little. We will pay attention to that, though. My record was not great for this week, 7-7. There were a lot of upsets. But that means my total is 96-54 at this point in the season. And then here are my picks for the upcoming week. This is present day now. So then we have the Patriots. I think they'll get it done versus the Falcons. The Patriots have been on a bit of a streak. The 49ers should be able to get it done versus the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been up and down this season, but mostly bad still. I think the Bills should be able to handle the Colts. The Ravens have been kind of iffy in the past few games, but I think they get the win over the Bears. The Titans should be handled. So, yeah. Packers, I think they get done versus Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't been great, but they have been able to pull off a few upsets and that kind of stuff. So it hasn't been a bad season for Minnesota, but maybe not a playoff season. Other picks, this is a big game, the Chiefs versus the Cowboys. I think the Chiefs get it done. I think the Chiefs are warming up finally, and they're going to make a run at the playoff and maybe even the Super Bowl like the Chiefs love to do. So we'll see how that works out. The Cardinals are going against the Seahawks. I think the Cardinals get it done. So, yeah, those are my picks for Week 11. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be back on a more regular schedule from now on. So please make sure to subscribe and like. And this is the Sports Spiral. Bye.